No. State where you source your fabrics from, babes.
It's 1983, and Urban Outfitters has just launched its Urban Renewal line. Aimed at the same trendy, young, hipster, and otherwise aesthetically curated audience as Urban Outfitters, the Urban Renewal line, quote, represents and expresses a commitment to sustainability, clarity, and reducing impact on the environment. With these claims, Urban Renewal clearly presents itself to be as a solution to the environmental impact from the fashion industry. But how much of these claims are actually measurable change, effort, and how much of this is just greenwashing? First, let's get into what greenwashing is. Greenwashing is the act of making false or misleading statements about the environmental benefits of a product or practice. The term was first coined in 1986 by environmentalist J. Westerveld. While staying at a hotel in Fiji, he noticed a sign asking guests to reuse towels for the planet. Guys, save that water. But it also conveniently saved the hotel money while they were expanding nearby into a sensitive ecosystem. Since J. Westerveld first identified greenwashing, there have been countless legal confrontations of it. Take, for example, Deutsche Bank, who in 2023 paid a total of $25 million in settlement to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. The majority of that payment was a $19 million penalty for materially misleading statements about their environmental, social, and governance investment processes. It's unrealistic to expect governments to be able to tackle every single case of greenwashing. So we're going to turn to Canadian corporation TerraForce Environmental Marketing for their 2007 breakthrough framework, the 7 deadly sins of greenwashing. Still widely used and referred to today, the 7 deadly sins are the sin of the hidden trade-off, where a product is marketed as green based on a single environmental attribute while ignoring most significant environmental concerns. The next is sin of no proof, a claim that cannot be backed up with easily accessible or verifiable information. Third, the sin of vagueness, or using broad or poorly defined terms that can mislead consumers. The fourth, sin of worshipping false labels, is where a company creates fake certificates or labels to imply third-party endorsement. Next, the sin of irrelevance. It's a claim that is factually true but irrelevant to the product's actual sustainability. Then, it's the lesser of two evils. A product is marketed as an environmentally friendly one within a category that is inherently unsustainable. Lastly, there's the sin of fibbing, where there are outright false environmental claims. To determine whether Urban Renewal engages in these deceptive practices, Urban Renewal, Urban Outfitters, or both of their parent company, Urban, must provide clear and accessible information. Urban Renewal does not have its own website. According to the Urban Outfitters website, the brands have 2 major guide marks that guide their sustainability efforts: Circularity and Better Choices. The latter guide mark refers to Urban Outfitters' partnerships with other brands, wherein they just sell products made by other brands on their website and they put a nice label on it that says made with responsible materials. Oh, also you cannot forget the image banner that just names and describes some of other regulated or recycled materials at the top of the product page. The former guide mark does include the Urban Renewal line, as well as their one-of-a-kind vintage resale line. Nowadays, Urban Renewal's online inventory is made up of products from the Remnants line. Launched in 2015, Remnants products are made using small batch, upcycled, and dead stock remnants to help keep surplus materials out of landfills. At first glance, the idea of using dead stock remnant fabric seems like a good idea. Materials that would be waste are diverted and used. But what is dead stock? According to the 2023 to 2024 impact report published by Urban, the parent company, dead stock is defined as fabric or manufactured garments that are no longer sellable, such as damaged items, incorrect deliveries, leftover seasonal products, fabric liability, or excess inventory. Good On You offers a broader definition, stating that dead stock fabrics, also called remnant or overstock fabrics, are simply no longer usable for their original purpose. Importantly, Good on You addresses that fabrics exist because companies and manufacturers order them to exist. They order them to be made. So as much as overstock fabric can result from genuine miscalculations, it can also result from intentional overproduction. Despite this, Urban Renewal provides no information on their deadstock fabric sourcing. On each product's page, terms like deadstock or overstock or upcycled are echoed, leaving no real information besides the idea that these materials were saved. Returning to the subject of their last impact report, Urban Renewal is mentioned only twice across those 43 pages. Urban frames their recirculation and diversion through resale. If a unit is successfully resold, it is considered recirculated or diverted. Neither of these two cases mention the circularity of their fabric source supply chain. In the circularity section of the report, Urban boasts a 2021 partnership with textile recycler FabScrap for Free People products. But there is no mention of FabScrap in relation to Urban Renewal products. In fact, there's no mention of Urban Renewal in the circularity section of this report at all. And the question remains, is Urban Renewal truly diverting fabrics? Without clear fabric sourcing, it remains unclear whether Urban Renewal uses truly discarded fabrics or fabrics produced with intention for resale. While promoting the use of waste materials is essential for sustainable production, Urban Renewal must confront their definitions of waste head-on before anyone can trust their environmental impact. Greenwashing has widespread impacts affecting both individuals and collectives, especially on the market level. Urban Outfitters and Urban Renewal's target audience is primarily 18 to 30-year-olds, and a lot of these consumers do skew younger. Many of these young consumers may lack the resources or the experience to verify these sustainability claims. And ultimately, they're being encouraged to make purchases under false pretenses. On a larger scale, greenwashing creates what's called a noisy market, making it difficult to distinguish truly sustainable businesses from those that only appear to be. This confusion misleads both consumers and investors who want to support ethical companies, leading to distrust, frustration, and misallocated resources. When deceptive practices become widespread, they also affect the credibility of CSR, or corporate social responsibility. According to Miriam Cherry, greenwashing can push out genuinely sustainable businesses by making it harder for them to compete. If consumers lose faith in environmental and ethical initiatives, they may stop supporting the CSR efforts altogether, not just the misleading ones. In the end, greenwashing is not just misleading marketing. It damages consumer trust, it distorts the marketplace, and discourages real progress towards sustainability. Urban Renewal highlights a key issue in contemporary shopping: the gap between sustainability rhetoric and measurable impact. Without specific product detailing, transparency on fabric sourcing, or any third-party verification, these sustainability claims function much more as marketing tools than some indicator of a systemic change. Their lack of transparency prevents consumers from assessing whether their brand represents meaningful sustainability or marketing-driven strategies. Good on You rates Urban Outfitters a 2 out of 5, or not good enough, meaning that this brand doesn't quite meet their transparency standards, their environmental policy standards, their labor policy standards, nor animal welfare standards. Additionally, Urban Outfitters received a score of 11 to 20% in the 2023 Fashion Transparency Index. While this score is higher than many of its contenders, it still has a long way to go. Please beware of greenwashing, and Urban, if you're listening, do your job. Do your job. Do your job better.